Hello everybody, welcome back once again to the Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster Perfect Stats Guide. So we're going to, we got to take care of the big one now, Sabin scenario. I forgot how long this is. I mean, this is quite the undertaking. A lot of really important stuff here. Some missables. What else? A lot of fun. A lot of also frustration. But yeah. So man, yeah, I just forgot how big this one is. This is serious business here. The first time I came through, I kind of made a mistake, kind of anyway, with the Imperial camp. I'll point out where I would have rather. Basically, it's the Doberman rage. You can either get there's a rage with the formation is 3 Doberman and the other one is 2, and I just went and looked at it the other day, and it looks like the 3 Doberman rage is like pops up 75% of the time, and then the double is only a quarter of the time. So it made sense then that, of course, I didn't end up getting the specific formation that I actually really wanted to get instead. But all right, anyways, here's Shadow. Now we can finally actually get him to join us, and I love Shadow. One of my favorite characters in the game. His kind of like special is throw. And throw is pretty great. We're going to grab him actually some shuriken here. Looks like about 10. And then I grab, 5 invisibility scrolls. It's honestly, I didn't actually use those as much as I normally do. The invisibility scrolls anyway. Honestly, it's actually kind of partly because, with the whole constantly resetting and reloading from a quick save. It's better to just let your characters die, and I've brought that up a couple of times. It just makes the process a little bit faster, and so actually I really don't want him being vanished a lot of the time. Anyways, I made it all the way down here and into the Imperial camp without getting into any random encounters. Now, I'll be honest though, I'm glad that happened, but it's not for everybody, especially if you're not concerned about kind of like pack manipulation on the Veldt and formation manipulation, then don't bother, right? But you probably then do want to grab the stray cat rage. That's basically anywhere out on the plains out there. Stray cat's really good. I think it's literally the strongest physical rage in the game. Cat Scratch is the ability that it uses, and it's like 400% damage. I don't think there's anything else off the top of my head that can do that kind of physical damage. But I've decided not to grab that yet. So I guess just keep that in mind. That if you do want that, now is a good time to get it. You can pick up the stray cat right before the Imperial camp, and then right after, and then in between the Phantom Forest and the Barren Falls as well. So plenty of opportunities to get a hold of that. But here the play swaps on over to Cyan. I really like Cyan. Cyan is one of my favorite characters. He's I don't know, maybe a little bit less these days because I suppose just I know how good magic damage is in the game, and so I mean, I don't know. I'll be honest. I think the last time I played, I actually did go with like a magic build on Cyan, and that's okay because he's got a really good weapon. Actually, technically, there's 2 of them that can cast Wind Slash. And that's a really good setup for him. I've been kicking around the idea of doing another physical build on Cyan this time around. So we'll see. We'll see if I end up doing that or not. But anyways, I like his Bushido abilities, and they've changed that. I don't know if it's like if this is the first version that they've been changed for some reason, I think maybe that might not be the case. But anyways, you used to have to just sit there and let it charge, and that made it really cumbersome to actually use. That was not great. But now they activate instantly, so there's no waiting. Basically, it was kind of like watching another ATB charge or gauge charge, and yeah, it just made it a real problem to actually use. Now here, if you notice, I got that captain dropped a phoenix down on me again. So that's the second time, and this is actually, I think I've done this 3 times now, but that was the second time that the captain only dropped a phoenix down, and yeah, that's not good. I mean, it's garbage. And here's the more common reward is the black belt. So you know, on 2 occasions there, the game tried to pull a fast one on me. So yeah, not good. And I had to restart there to make sure that I got that black belt. Now, the black belt isn't, you know, phenomenal by any means, and I feel like, especially in this style of playthrough, it's a lot less relevant. We're just, you know, so much of the game is me running away from battles that it doesn't seem like it's that useful, but once we get onto the Veldt, it'll be a little bit of a different story, and it'll help out at least a little bit. But yeah, honestly though, there's sometimes I question whether or not that relic is really good at all, just because, you know, you have to give up something for a chance to counter, but, you know, when you're running around with 4 people, you only have like a, you know, well, that's a 25% chance of being targeted. So I don't know. It just ends up being a little questionable whether that's that great. Now, here's the Doberman. What I did there was, if you notice, there was a little cut there in the video, and that's because when I kicked and you have to kick that chest, by the way. It's the top option. And 75% of the time you'll get into a battle with the 3 Doberman, and it's only 25% of the time that you'll get into the battle with the 2. Now, I wanted the 2 Doberman. They go in a pack that basically the problem for me was that, you know, when I'm cycling the Veldt, I'm doing that for money, and, you know, trying to keep these the encounters and the formations to kind of a minimum and be efficient. And the problem is that Doberman times 3 rage, that ends up in the same pack as the satellite. The satellite will always, and that's coming up here, the satellite will always drop a green beret. The green berets are really, really good, not only to wear, but also to sell. They're worth quite a bit. So it really helps to, you know, every time the satellite pack is going to come around, you know, if you take the 3 Doberman rage, well, that means that when that pack comes around, there's only a 50% chance that you're going to get into the battle with the satellites. The other 50% of the time, you'll end up with the 3 Doberman. So, again, I would rather just, you know, not take the 3 Doberman pack and take the 2 instead, because the 2 Doberman go into a different pack with some other monsters that aren't as critical and aren't really, you know, worth as much. So that's my 2 cents on the Doberman. And then again, you know, right after, grab the, what is it, the star pendant or something like that inside? I think that's the one that prevents poison. And here, so we're in the, obviously we're getting a little bit deeper in the Imperial camp, and there was General Leo. General Leo is one of the Empire's, well, they call him the Empire's finest soldier. And he is definitely has an actual moral compass, unlike Kefka. They're almost like polar opposites. Leo is is pretty good, and, you know, whereas Kefka is a complete psycho. And all right, so we jump out there, you know, to basically try to stop him from, you know, his plan is to poison Doma. And so yeah, so we jump out, and of course he runs away because he's a coward. There's nothing in this tent. Also, there was nothing up in the upper left-hand tent up there either. I just passed by that. There's a soldier that walks in and out of it, but there's nothing in it. So here there's a little secret kind of way around the back or the side of this tent that leads to a barrier ring. there's the Mithril Glove. And then definitely save your game before you open this chest, because this can be a little bit nasty. I equipped the ribbon on Sabin here because every time you use a blitz on the satellite, and this is what I was talking about earlier, the satellite enemy. Every time you use a blitz on the satellite, it counters with Megazerk, which berserks Sabin, and it actually really wrecks his damage. So, you know, again, I put the ribbon on him so that he can't be berserked, and that way I can just keep using aura, you know, constantly. Shadow had a, you know, an interceptor block there. I don't remember if I did. I don't know if I brought that up before, but that's one of the things I really like about Shadow is interceptor. Basically, there's a chance that anytime a physical ability comes, or like an enemy uses a physical ability on Shadow, interceptor will block it instead. And then on top of that, sometimes interceptor will counter with a certain ability as well. That's not always great. There's points in the game, for instance, when we're either trying to steal or if we're trying to morph something, that interceptor running around wreaking havoc is actually not a good thing. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of you know, well, it's in very, very, very specific instances that it's not so great. But anyways, all right, so we're done exploring there. I already got the chest, and again, keep in mind that anything that is in the Imperial camp here is missable. So, you know, the Doberman Rage, the chests that are here, the satellite, which you definitely do not want to miss that. That's just too good. And the Green Beret actually, I mean, it stays relevant in some part the entire game, I would say. There are only, I think it's 2 helmets in the game that give you physical evade. One of them is the Green Beret, and one of them is the cat ear hood or something like that. And the cat hood is only for Realm. So, you know, again, and then on top of that, the Green Beret gives you a bonus to your HP as well. So, an amazing helmet, and it's actually relevant now, or I should say more relevant, because the evade stat actually works, right? So, you know, earlier iterations of the game, well, I think it worked in the Game Boy Advance version as well, but at least the like the Super Nintendo version, it did not work at all, and I think the PlayStation version, it didn't work either, and everything was based off of you know, the magic evade stat. So again, very very good helmet, and you know, it's kind of nice to actually see that. Now that I'm kind of thinking about it too, there's a case that to not worry about your HP gains. Though I'm not comfortable making really that statement, because there is there's more helmets that actually give you, and I don't remember if there's more than one. The cat ear hood is both physical and magic evade, and then the priest miter gives magic evade. But then now I don't know if there's, like off the top of my head, I don't remember if there's any other helmets that give magic evade. So, you know, I don't necessarily want to say that it's the best hat in the game, right? The Green Beret is the best that you can get. I'm not sure now, right? I can't remember quite if there's, you know, any other hats that have, like, you know, really good magic evade or anything like that. But anyways, like I said, the Green Berets stay relevant for, I mean, at the very least, the very first half of the game, you know, and then, you know, potentially even, you know, and for sure some certain scenarios there towards the end. But all right, anyways, I am what do we got here? Putting Cyan, or putting the black belt on Cyan. Do we actually, what did I miss here? Oh yeah, okay. So they've just noticed that Doma has poison, that Kefka has poisoned the river, and we're doing a little investigating and checking up on, I guess, looking for survivors. In one of these rooms here, we can actually go in and grab I think is it a remedy? But that's coming up. But anyways, all right, so Cyan here is checking in on the king. The king actually seems like he genuinely cares about him too. And also, you know, it's funny too. I guess I just don't. I didn't remember this, but yeah, the Kingdom of Doma is actually working against the Empire and with the Returners, and I don't know if I just missed that in like the probably 10 to 20 times that I've gone through the game, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I was just taken aback by that when I don't know. I don't remember where it gets mentioned, but I was like, wait, what? Doma's working. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? And then the Empire obviously poisons everybody here, and then they kind of take over. There's the remedy that I was referring to earlier. That's not actually missable, but I always just grab it here, as early as we can. But all right, so here is Cyan runs into his wife and child's room. Well, I guess technically this is his room too, but obviously a little bit too late, and they've been poisoned as well as the rest of most of the rest of Doma. But yeah, again, so later on in the game, the Empire actually does kind of occupy Doma as well here. So kind of yeah, I guess again I'm surprised that I missed that, some of the earlier times that I played through the game. But all right, so we've got control of Sabin and Shadow again, and it is time to help out Cyan. None of these battles give experience either, so we don't have to worry about that. Also, I guess they're all scripted anyway, so probably wouldn't really matter anyway. All right. These ones next. Indeedly. The first time I went through again after having not played for a really long time, I'm not sure what I had equipped on Cyan, but the black belt actually is really good on him right here. It seemed like he got, I don't know, maybe I just got, or he got unlucky or lucky. I guess it depends on how you look at it. But it seemed like the enemies were really targeting him a lot. So I ended up, countering just constantly, which was kind of nice. Sped things up a bit. Now, I'm wondering now if we could have actually went and grabbed the treasures again. Yeah, like if we had forgot now, but I don't know. I'm wondering if Sabin kind of yells at you and tells you to help Cyan out. I don't know. I guess I haven't. I didn't even think to try that. But again, might as well grab the treasures earlier. But all right, yeah. So here, Sabin or Cyan admits that maybe we should just work together. Since we're kind of doing that anyway. Must avenge my family and my countrymen. Yeah, I mean, you gotta do that. Oh, what's going on here? Just kind of hanging out? Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so we gotta get out of here, otherwise we're gonna get overwhelmed, I guess. And so here we get to hop in some Magitek armor, which was kind of fun. There's another part later on in the game that we'll get to do that again. But here's where Cyan kind of shows his lack of familiarity with machinery, or his aversion to it, I suppose. Hey, what do you think you're doing? But I mean, look at that. He ends up making it work anyway. I tried to kind of get through here without getting into some of these battles, but there's no way around it. The Magitek armor is just too wide, and yeah, so we'll just have to get into all these battles, unfortunately. Hold it right there. Hold what right where? All right. Oh yeah, I tried to run too. You can't run. Can't run from those guys. Here they come. Stop them. No, can't stop here. Sorry, friends. Gotta keep going. Here you can do some free healing, I suppose, if you want. I didn't bother. I didn't. Also, I didn't really want to. Again, for I think reasons that I've brought up in some of the excuse me, earlier videos as well. There, where you know, because it's just so much faster when you get into a battle that you don't want to keep. It's just so much faster to just let your party get knocked out, and then you know, basically just reload from your last quick save. So again, I actually tried to, and this is the last battle that you can kind of you know, tweak that. What I should have done there was probably tried to run away with Cyan because he was at 1 health, and then you know, just let Cyan get let Sabin get knocked out, but didn't really think about that, and also I don't know, I suppose on some level I didn't think it was that important. Now, also coming up really soon anyway, there's a recovery spring, and so you can't avoid it either. So your characters just walk right to it, and boom, you're back up to full health. So that's a little bit obnoxious, but you know, it is what it is. So all right, here's the Phantom Forest again. Right before this and after the Imperial camp is another opportunity to get the stray cat if you really want it. There is let me just trying to think of the different formations that I excuse me, kind of liked. One of them was, I think it's 2 stray cats, and then you know what, now I'm gonna have to look it up. Because I don't remember. I'm getting rusty already. Okay. Alright, so it looks like it starts with pack 7. Yeah, it's 2 nettle hoppers. They look like grasshoppers, and then 2 stray cats together. And that's pack 7, and then I like to take, sometimes anyway, it's a Apiornis. And then I think it's 2 chippy rabbits together. And that basically gets you all of the monsters out there on the plains, without putting any of those monsters into pack 8. Pack 8 is the satellite. Unfortunately, you know, it would be really, well, fairly efficient anyway to get. There's one formation in pack 8 with the Apiornis, stray cat, and 2 nettle hoppers, right? So that's 3 different monsters all in one pack. The problem is, though, you still don't get the chippy rabbit, and you know, that stuff ends up in pack 8, which is again our satellite pack. And again, I wanted to keep that completely empty. So I do sometimes take enemies in pack 7. Now, because we've made it through the plains area without getting into any battles whatsoever, pack 7 is still completely empty, meaning that will just be skipped. So it'll go, you know, right from pack 6, it'll skip over pack 7, and then it'll go right to pack 8, which is the satellite. So again, that's kind of my my thought process on avoiding some of that stuff. Now, here inside the forest is kind of the same deal. I'm going to be skipping over most of these formations. The one that I grabbed, though, is that Ghost ×3. And the reason for that is that's a forced fight on the Phantom train anyway. So there's no real reason to, you know, skip that or whatever. I guess you know, eliminate your characters and restart after. It's not going to do anything for you. So all right. Anyways, we've made it to the Phantom train. Honestly, this last time I'm surprised. I got through here with fairly good luck, I guess I would say. The first time I went through was I'll be honest, it was very frustrating. I ended up getting into a lot of random encounters and a lot more than I wanted, and it did get, I'm not gonna lie, it got pretty frustrating. Somehow though, this time was pretty much the complete opposite. I somehow made it through a lot of these train cars without getting into any random encounters at all. So, you know, sometimes that's just how it goes, I guess. But anyways, so here, obviously, Cyan is warning us that we need to get off right now. And, of course, it's too late. So we are... carries the souls of the departed to their final destination, which... Those are a good series of movies. Gosh, those are so old now. But, all right, I think you have to go down. Nope, I'm sorry, you don't. Okay. Or did I miss that? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. You do have to go down first to check the door, and that's when the scene triggers then, and they basically said that you're stuck on there. There's a tent that's on the ground. I think in other versions of the game, those were kind of hidden. And so if you just went to that spot, you could pick them up. And then I think they're all linked as well. So, like, if you don't pick that tent up there, there's some other cars that have them on the ground, I believe. I've never messed with that or checked that out. But that always seemed kind of... I think the first time I learned about that, I was like, wait, what? There's stuff on the ground here hidden? Which, always kind of fun to learn new things after after a billion years. But there's another example of Cyan kind of being freaked out when it comes to machinery, and yeah, so we give him a little bit of a hard time there and kind of make fun of him. There's the first ghost that we can invite to the party. Also, it's probably not a bad idea to save your game back here in the caboose. Again, there's a lot of... this is where, well, I shouldn't say that. The missable stuff actually started in the Imperial camp, but there's more missable stuff here. Now, I like to get in or force myself into random encounters here in the caboose. What we're looking for here is a single bomb. Now, the first time I came through here, I thought, or after I had already done the Phantom Train, I thought that I potentially messed up here. And what I mean by that is, so there's a way to glitch espers onto your characters as of right now. That may change. I don't know. Who knows? But as of right now, you can glitch espers, and you can glitch the Ragnarok esper. Now, if you're familiar with the game and you've played, you probably know what that is. The Ragnarok esper is also a sword. Unfortunately, though, you have to pick one or the other. But in this version of the game, because we can glitch, you don't have to pick one or the other. You can take the sword and then also glitch the esper onto your characters. So, that being said, you can essentially, right when you first get espers, you can glitch Ragnarok onto your characters. And you can, the ability that it uses is called, it's metamorphosis. Anyways, you can morph items. And basically it makes the enemy, or it takes the enemy and turns them into an item for you. The bombs, you can turn bombs into flame shields. Flame shields are amazing, especially in this part of the game. I mean, they're even really good in the World of Ruin as well, but they're amazing in the World of Balance. And so, by the way, this formation right here with the two Angel Whispers and one Cloud, I grabbed that as well. The Angel Whisper is actually a default rage that Gao already has, but I wanted to take this specific formation because of the pack that it ends up in. So again, I grabbed that. But again, anyway, so back to the bomb. Now, there are a couple of formations actually with bombs in here. There's a formation with 3 of them. There's a formation with, I believe it's 2 bombs and 2 clouds, I think. And that actually would have been pretty efficient if I would have gone that route. The 2 bombs and 2 clouds as well, right? Because then I wouldn't have had to take that last formation right there. But bombs are actually not that fun to fight on the Veldt. Sometimes you screw up and you hit them and then they explode on you, and they can do a decent amount of damage, especially to, really low level characters. So I decided to not go that route. And here's the tricky part, or the interesting part that I've noticed. There are actually 2 areas in the game where you can run into a single bomb. One is here on the Phantom Train. One of them is later on in the game in a forest west of the Veldt. Now, it's very strange, but I think there's like a mistake that got made somewhere encoding or something, that, you know, copy paste issue or something like that. But what actually ends up happening is when you run into the single bomb formation here, that bomb gets put into 2 different packs on the Veldt. Basically, it's one pack that ends up with the there's one more formation coming up here that we're going to grab. It's the still going and Oversoul or something like that. We're going to see it here in a little bit. But that single bomb shares that pack, and then it's in another pack in a different, later on down the road. And I think, excuse me, I think what happened was the bomb from here was originally supposed to be in the pack with the Oversoul and, you know, some of the other packs, and that makes sense, right? They're from the same area, so on and so forth. But I don't think that formation was supposed to be added to the other single bomb formation as well. I think that's where the mistake is, because that specific pack is much further on down. And so I think the intent was actually to have this bomb formation with the rest of the Phantom Train, you know, pack, and then the bomb forest, I call it, or a lot of people call it, which is the forest just to the west of the Veldt. I think that was supposed to be that single bomb formation was supposed to be, you know, with the mobs over there as well. And again, I think something just gets copied over or something, or the packs just never really got, or the mobs never got separated from the packs. But anyways, long story short, sorry, I know that's a massive tangent, but what that means for us is, originally when I went through here, I was concerned about, because I wanted to morph. I didn't want to run into battles with just a ton of monsters. I wanted the single bomb by itself. The problem is, though, that pack, because we have to take one more formation in it, when I go to morph, that would mean that when we started that pack, there would be only a 50% chance that we would see the single bomb. But because of that error, we don't have to try that pack. We can try the one farther on. And we know when we save right before that pack, we will for sure get into a battle with a single bomb. So, long story short, I originally thought that I had made a mistake and I should have added more bombs to this pack. And why? Well, as of right now, or what it will be here in a second, is it'll be a 50-50 chance of seeing that bomb. And so I thought, okay, well, if I add 2 more bomb formations to that pack, well, then I'll see them 75% of the time. But we don't need to do that. And so there's no actual, in my opinion anyway, there's no reason to grab any more bomb formations. So, anyways, this is, we're about to get into a battle here. This is the Oversoul and 2 Living Dead. I recommend taking this pack as well. You really want the Oversoul Rage. It's really good. And then this will complete our, you know, monster list, I guess I would say, for this area as well. So again, grab that again, and now that one will, so that specific formation right there will share a pack with the with that single bomb, and then again we'll be able to run into, you know, another bomb formation later on in a later Veldt pack. So they'll be still really easy to morph. I fully intend to do that. I mean, I'll be honest, those flame shields are fantastic. You know, it's super cheesy, and I understand if you don't want to do that. And who knows, maybe there'll be a day where this will be old news and you won't be able to morph or glitch, you know, the Ragnarok Esper onto your characters at this point in the game anyway. But yeah, I guess at least for the time being, we're able to take advantage of that. So, all right. Anyways, also, by the way, you want to run into that Oversoul, what was it, Living Dead formation right there, because that I think is the only car that they're found in. So, or at least that specific formation. So again, you know, run around in that car, and that's the one right after we detach the rest of the cars from the back. Here is Siegfried. We interact with the chest, and he, well, this guy says he's Siegfried. I think he's supposed to be an imposter. I think anyway. But yeah, I like how he swings at you 10 times and then he gets all tired and he doesn't do much damage at all. One of the times that I played through here too, I possessed him with the ghost, and that's a bad idea. There's a battle here that we really want to use the ghost for. Here is another tent. Now, so earlier when I was talking about the hidden tents, I think actually that one back in the caboose is kind of just maybe not linked to the other ones, but I think that one is that tent right there. And so if you grab that, then this room right here I think is a potential room for a tent as well. But once you've grabbed it from one of the rooms, it disappears from the rest of them, right? So you've got, I suppose, at least what was that, like 2 rooms for sure for options. Here's the monster in the box. This is the apparition, and you just want to possess this guy. Did I reset this or no? I left Shadow dead. I was like, oh, do I want to do this now? Because he one-shot, Shadow immediately, and I wasn't sure if that was, going to be a problem or not, but it's not. We'll just leave Shadow. Shadow can take a rest. He's done enough. Which, yeah, almost nothing, but still. All right, yeah, so I'll loot the rest of that stuff. There was a sniper sight. That actually came in handy towards the end of the game, actually. I did something really weird with the Mage Master, and that actually kind of helped out. But yeah, other than that, I don't really use that much. But all right, anyways, we're getting there. We're almost done. At least with the not with this video, that's for sure. But at least with the Phantom Train. But all right, so the what is it? The left and the right switches need to be, what were they facing up? I missed that already. And then here, this formation again is actually, I couldn't figure out why I wasn't running into this specific formation as I was like making my way through here, and that's because this one is only found outside. And I remember the first time I came through, I was like, gosh, where are these? Like I intended to grab it, and I just couldn't figure out where that was at. And that was why. It was because I thought that they were going to be inside, but they're not. Or at least that specific one is not found inside. So the mystery was solved. So here I got kind of lucky. Every once in a while, the Phantom Train will use Evil Toot on its first turn, and it'll drop a bunch of nasty status effects on you. But this time around, he just used the wheel on Cyan, and obviously we go with the Phoenix down. I know a lot of people like to suplex this baby, but for one thing, we don't have suplex, and for two, I'd rather just use the Phoenix down and one-shot him. So yeah, so that's the plan there. But all right, yeah, we're done. That was it. You get a tent also from taking that thing down, which we will end up using. I think we've actually got a couple of extra ones built up by now, but we'll definitely use that before we jump off the falls. And in between here and the Barren Falls, you'll want to grab Shadow's equipment. I don't know for sure if they unequip him right now and dump his stuff into your inventory or not. Something tells me that they don't, but anyways, out of habit I just do that anyway, and I think that makes sense. But yeah, anyways, all right. So Cyan's wife and child are getting on the Phantom Train, which obviously is not good news. And, ooh, yeah. Train is leaving. All aboards. Is that shoe puff? Oh, nope, wrong game. Practicing with my sword so I can keep Mom safe. Well, the sword didn't protect you from poison, did it, buddy? I know, mean. Pretty mean stuff. Wow, that was... Yikes. Kind of feel bad about that one. Jeez, buddy. Yeesh. Alright. Huh. Okay. Yeah, so right here is where I will use the tent. I believe. Yeah, there we are. Okay, all fixed up and all ready to jump off a cliff. Well, how's that phrase go? If your friends told you to jump off a cliff, would you do it? Yeah, I would do it. I'm about to do it, actually. Shadow told us to do that, and Shadow was our friend, so yeah. Yep, it is true. Alright, anyway, for the equipment here, I guess I went, yeah, Hermes sandals on Cyan, I suppose that kind of makes sense. And then, do we have 2 earrings now? Yeah, we do. So one from Lock Scenario, and then one here from the Phantom Train. That's going to really, really bump up the damage on Aura Bolt. So, yeah, Sabin will continue to be our big gun. Okay, if we make it through the Veldt, we could head there. And of course, Shadow takes off. Thanks for the help. Let's team up again sometime. Yeah, let's definitely do that. I like that guy. Pretty cool. Dive into the falls. Yes, let's do that. Geronimo. Okay, here I know I remember inputting my commands and then I just walked away. I'm not gonna lie. I went and did something else while this whole scenario was playing. And I think I was in the other room and I heard the like the sound that it makes when you've just defeated a boss. And I was like, oh, huh, okay, well, I guess that worked. I wasn't sure if it was gonna work out well, but yeah, yep, no problems at all. Fang is enough to take these guys down, and obviously Aura Bolt as well. So yeah, I'm sorry, it's Aura Cannon in this one. Wow, boy, been saying it wrong for a little while, I guess. Nope, alright, here's the boss. The Rhizopaz. Pretty easy. I think it can use ice, but I don't think it did. Yeah, it's not looking like it did. Boom. Yeah, there you go. All done. Pretty easy stuff. Yep. There I was definitely away from the controller there. Huh. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Alright, here he is. Here's our guy. Youth draped in monster hides, his eyes shining with a, was that gentle light? Boy, I can't read. Ugh. It's getting rough. Stuff's falling apart. Don't read so good. Yikes. Alright, who are you? Ah! Alright, he just takes off on us. Alright, well, I mean, if you saw an Aura Cannon, you know, over and over like that, I think you'd probably run away too. Just beating up all the fish. Oh, yikes. All right. Here's Moblitz. We'll need to go grab some dried meat, and we'll use that to recruit Gao. And yeah, I think I just bought 2 here just to, I don't know, have one extra in case I screwed something up, as one does. We'll go in here and grab a new. Oh no, I lied. We want. That's right. I was kind of low on cash. Yeah, look at that. I probably still could have afforded the. I think it's the Kotetsu for Cyan, but yeah, I didn't. I guess I didn't do that. Well, look at that. The old Foper Uruk. I think it's the Foper that uses death, or casts death when Gao rages with that. I don't think we get these though. So Gao is gonna pop up here for the first time right after these guys, but I don't think he learns those. Or I don't think he will have learned those initial monsters because technically he hasn't joined us yet. But all right, yeah. So that starts the recruitment process, which, boy, pretty easy to convince this guy, to be honest. I mean, a single dried meat, he's a lot cheaper higher than Shadow is, that's for sure. Sorry, all gone. You go, get more for me. Regular little munchkin, huh? And you afraid of me? Want some of this? All right. Yeah, Gao keeps up pretty well with Sabin. Pretty impressive for a little guy. You fall for it. Fall for trick. Shut up. Oh, wild one, who might thou be? Thou. Somebody learned a new word. You angry? Cyan, you angry me? Cyan, you angry me? Oh my god. That gets me every time. I don't know why. Boy, just a child at heart, I guess. You angry me? Water under the bridge. All right. Yeah, no problems there. I'll give Cyan and Sabin present for food. All right. Yeah, this is why we're generous with our dried meat. Wow, that came out not in the way that I wanted it to, but all right. Locke's gonna be jealous when he hears about this. Who Locke? He bad man? Try to steal Gao's treasure? Is he drilling? Is he pretending he's drilling? It's the Gao drill. You thought Edgar was the only one with the drill in this game? I don't think so. Gao's got one too. All right. Yeah, so we got him. We got the new recruit. Oh, what's going on here? Let's go. Okay, why do we have to invite someone like him along? Someone like him? What's that supposed to mean? Someone crazy overpowered? Mr. Thou, hurry up. We'll leave you behind. My name's not Mr. Thou. Well, it is now. It's too late. All right, so here comes the Rage Veldt Gao tutorial, I guess. Here's how to build up Gao's skills. During battle, choose Leap when you're on the Veldt. Keep fighting. Eventually, Gao will reappear. When he reappears, you will have learned the attacks of the monsters you were fighting when he leapt, as well as the ones that you were currently fighting when he reappeared. So, very important to remember that. I think the first time I played, I must not have just read this, and I think eventually it finally dawned on me that yes, he was learning the abilities when he leapt, as well as the enemies that he appeared with. So yes, that is indeed how it works. I think 10-year-old Mike. Yeah, it took a little while for 10-year-old Mike to have it click, because I was probably just super excited about playing and didn't read. I think there was a lot of that going on when I was younger. A whole lot of skipping stuff. Actually, now that I think about it, that's still sometimes the case. Oh, yikes. All right, so in between there, I actually took a little bit of a cut there where I really just, farmed the Veldt for quite a while. I picked up all of the rages that I thought were really... Actually, I may have got all of the rages that we had, or that I'd come across up to this point. Again, really important one is like the commander, because again, that one casts break. That's going to be really, really nice for the Dataluma fight. What else here? Oh, yep, time to buy a Kotetsu. I got a couple of green berets. I think I ended up with 3 or 4 of them, something like that. Which again was really fast because, again, every time that pack rolls around, we will, run into that satellite 100% of the time. And, actually, yeah, I don't have as much money as I thought I did. Huh. Okay, well. It's still enough, though, to get the Tintinabulum, something like that. It used to be called the Tintinabar back in the day. And so in order to do that, we'll head on into the house right here. And we'll read the letters from Lola to the injured lad, I guess is his name. I'll never move. I'll never see Lola again. You know what? I think that's sad. I think this guy never does see Lola again, does he? Yeah. Huh. Oof. Yeah, that's rough. Didn't think about that. But yeah, all right. So what we do here is we'll read his letter, and then we'll come in here. This is the post office, and we'll send the letters. Obviously, there was an elixir there in the clock that I grabbed, and in order to pass time, you just walk into any of these merchants and interact with them. And then that will trigger Lola, I suppose, to have, or whatever, a letter to be delivered. And so then we just run in here, grab the letter, read it to the soldier here again, and then go back out to the post office, send another letter. It costs 500 gil each time. And then the reward at the end is the Tintinabulum. I'm torn on that item. I want to like it because every time you take a step, you restore a little bit of health. And so when you're farming on the Veldt, that seems like a really, really good item, because of that, right? It'll keep you kind of healthy between battles, and hopefully you won't have to use items as often. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like... the problem is there's just so many good relics, like Hermes sandals. That's almost impossible to give up for anything, And then the double earrings, 2 earrings together is amazing for Sabin. So it just ends up being tough to justify, using that item, or that relic, I should say. But okay, yep. Still repeating I know this is ends up being 5 or 6 trips back and forth between. The injured lad and the merchant. Beginning to worry. Oh no, don't worry. We'll send you more stuff. Look, she's like, I've been starting to worry. Girl, we just sent you something. Minutes ago. What do you got to be worried about? Calm down. But, all right. Yeah, a couple more. Actually, is this the last? Nope, one more. Jeez, okay. Mentioned a book. All right. All right, let's go send a book. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't buy anything, buddy. What are you thanking me for? I should be thanking you for, magically passing time. All right, that was it. So at that point now we can interact with him and get our reward. Again, the Tintinabulum. You also, not only does it, restore health every time you take a step, but once we're in the world of Ruin, you can actually bet those for growth eggs. I don't know. I don't know how, beneficial that is. I suppose it could be. It depends on how you level your characters. If you, like to level, I guess in pairs or whatever, multiple people, then yeah, maybe you want to have more than one growth egg. But anyways, I thought that this was appropriate too. The last battle was also the one that we started with. So there's the Foper Uruk formation. So all right, I'm gonna save outside here, and then we'll head on in. I actually really like that they made the spots where the hidden stuff is at really obvious. So it takes a lot of the guesswork out of where you have to stand to trigger the whatever, again, buried treasures in here, I guess. Which I guess really actually there's only 2 out of 4 potential spots. There's nothing in this one. And again, if you notice there, the spot on the ground is a little bit discolored. And here's the potion. Okay. And this, I don't know. I was kind of conflicted on whether or not I should stand or whatever. Yeah, I guess go on to this one. Basically, it just makes you lose 500 gil. And I actually did check, and it does indeed make you lose the gil. I thought maybe like, oh yeah, it's just some gag thing, like part of the story. Nope, they literally subtract it from your from your gil total. One of these days, I should try spending all my money and then go stand on it, and see if it just zeroes you out. And my guess is it does, but. All right, and then here we're gonna save. Definitely save before you stand on this tile, and the reason for that is once we start this series or whatever, this like kind of cutscene and dialogue, there's no other opportunity to save before we jump into the Serpent's Trench, and I think I only had to reset once or twice here, but. There are formations in the Serpent's Trench that I wanted to avoid as well. Basically anything with an anguiform, it's called. It looks like a weird sea eel type thing. And it does have a good rage, unfortunately, which is, I think it's Aqua Breath. But for the time being anyway, I didn't want to grab that one. So that one, I believe, goes in the same formation as the Hell's Rider. Let me just see here. Yeah, Hell's Rider. So any anguiform actually ends up in that pack. So it's the anguiform, the single, and then there's an anguiform that's a double, like 2 of them together. And then there's one more formation with an anguiform, actinian, and then an espirin. And again, all of those end up in pack 11 with the Hell's Rider. Now, I actually wanted to keep the Hell's Rider with as few formations in there as I could, because the Hell's Rider is an okay enemy to run into. For one thing, you can steal mithril vests from them, which is actually pretty good. But also it morphs into gold equipment, which is normally not available until the very end of the World of Balance. So you can get a little bit of a jump, on some of that gold gear as well, if you want to try to morph that guy. So here is a formation that I'm completely all right with, and, I don't know. I would say you don't have to really micromanage these formations much more than this. But again, there's about 2 formations that I'll end up taking. And of course, this jerk stops me in my tracks as I'm trying to get away. So we'll have to wait around for these guys or for Gao to get unstopped or to go again. They should have had an opposite. They should have had a spell just called Go. That reverses the effects of stop, but yeah. Anyways, this is an okay formation, and then the other formation that I usually grab as well on the way is the 3. It's just 3 actinians. So those go in, again, a separate formation from the Hell Riders. All right, moving on. Let's keep going. Let's keep swimming. Okay, all right, so here's the first room. Let's see, what have we got here? X Potion. Definitely save right here before you exit the area. It'll throw us... We'll have one more battle. I don't know why. I thought that this was so many more battles, but it's 3. It is literally 3 battles. Yeah, I don't know why I just thought there was a lot more battles in this series, but it's, like I said, it's 3. It's 2 battles back to back. Yeah, is this the second? Yeah, this is the no, I'm sorry. This is the 3rd one already, isn't it? Wow, yikes. Yeah, that's getting old and rusty. Just telling you right now, that's what happens. Wow, I just noticed that I only got into battles with the Actinian Espic together. I didn't run into any other formations. It was just that single, that same formation. Wow, huh. Okay, very cool. That's probably, for now anyway, that's the best formation. It's got the most monsters in it, so we'll probably get a lot more money than we would with any of the other ones. And then on top of that, I didn't want to have any of the formations with the what was Angleform. Again, which looks like a creepy sea eel looking thing. So all right, anyways, yeah, that was it. So we are now on our way to Nikira. Also, there was a green beret in one of the chests as well. So, if you didn't grab enough of them, or if, you didn't get whatever, yeah, I guess if you didn't spend much time on the Veldt there grabbing more green berets from the satellite, then, again, there is at least one more right there. There's another green beret in a chest as well in Koingen, which is, a little ways ahead. But there, grab the elixir. That was another one of the things that I noticed in the first video that I did. I should say, the video that I did for this section of the game, where I walked past that. So I had to come back later and grab that elixir out of the clock. So, just grab it here on the first opportunity that you can. Here also you can buy some stuff if you want. For the rest of your party members. I didn't bother, and I think I did buy a bunch of smoke bombs though. Those are very important. Now, it probably won't be the last time that you come through here, but yeah, and definitely it won't be the last time you come through here if you are kind of following this guide and do this as well, because we'll end up dumping Gao off on the Veldt at a certain point, and then after that. Is where I think smoke bombs really come in handy, specifically for if you're familiar with the end of the Magitek research facility and the minecart ride. And I would say at the very least buy 5 for that for the minecart ride specifically. You don't that's technically you don't need them, but it makes it it's just a lot better. And I again highly recommend getting at least 5 for that. So there is the is she I don't know, the lady that tries to get Cyan to dance, and oh my god, the Humpty and Dumpty part. Oh my god, I about died. That I don't ever remember that dialogue, so I feel like maybe they changed that as well. But yeah, I don't know, or maybe it just always was that way, and I have memory hold that conversation, but yeah. Anyways, we're about there. Once you tell the boat captain, yeah, I guess it's the captain, right? That you're ready to go, then that starts the. Well, I guess basically what I'm saying is that's the point of no return. So do the shopping there, and then he'll prompt you if you're all done, and then you can just tell him that you're gonna hop aboard. So all right, we're back in Narshe now, and Bannon as well as the others are trying to convince the mayor, I think, of Narshe to basically join with the returners. Narshe has been apparently neutral to this point, though the Magitek, knights or the soldiers, whatever, that roll through town and annihilate a bunch of the guards, it seems strange to even consider staying neutral after something like that. I mean, on some level, that's a bit of it. That's an invasion, right? They literally invaded the town and killed some of the guards. So, pretending that there's any neutrality at this point is kind of silly. Although, I guess you could say maybe the mayor would be just worried about further conflict. But, it's one of those deals where, like it or not, here they come. So everybody joins up here and makes their way into Narshe. Locke as well as Celeste, warn or tip off Narshe and the mayor here that the Empire is indeed coming, and whether or not you wanted to stay neutral, well, the choice is kind of being taken from you. And then obviously Cyan's got a little bit of a dialogue here with Celeste after the events of Doma, and he, at least on some level, is kind of he holds her directly responsible for, what does he say there, the sacking of Miranda, which I don't know if they elaborate on that anymore, but either way, yeah. So then Locke obviously has to defend her and kind of jump in and go, whoa, no, hold up, buddy. She's kind of with us now. So, all right. Anyways, here comes Kefka. He's got a bunch of Magitek armor in tow, as well as some, foot soldiers. What does he say? Read my lips. What is for wimps? Pieces for wimps or something like that? Yeah. And then what does he say there? There's a reason why oppose rhymes with dispose. It's pretty good line, I guess. Not bad. But all right, yeah. So the obviously they're coming for the Esper, and so they've moved the Esper up. What does he say? They're up into the hills, and yeah. So now it's time to make our stand. And then here, Edgar, I think he might be. I don't know. I'll be honest. It feels scummy what Edgar is actually doing right here. For one thing, he's kind of being a jerk, right? When he's like, don't think that you mean anything to him. He's just got this pass. But then it feels extra scummy because it feels like he might be trying to hit on her. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's always just kind of sat not so well with me, I guess. Here, Terra is asking Celeste a genuine question. Terra doesn't understand that she's an Esper right now, and so, she kind of thinks that she's more like Celeste, where, Celeste has been infused with, magic, which is not the case. But then, she's asking, well, can you love somebody, if that's happened? And then obviously again, Cyan and Celeste bumping heads as well, and she defends herself and says, "Well, pay attention to what I'm doing, not what you think." But all right, that is it for this one. We did it. We made it all the way, and boy, what a slog! So, as always, I hope the guide was helpful, and hope you join me for more videos. Thanks for watching.